Hey guys, it's Mark, and in this episode of Vac Chat, we're going to be talking about Dyson. So, everybody seems to be running to the box stores, grabbing a Dyson when their vacuum breaks down. And my personal thoughts on that are, not very good. First off, I'm just going to name a couple flaws with Dysons. I will say that they do have a couple. I'll say they have one good model, because I really am not a fan of the Dysons because of a couple things, so I'll talk about them. First off, it's bagless, and people seem to think that bagless, oh, there's no bags to buy, so it's cheaper, there's no this, that, or the other, so it's just buy the vacuum and then use it, and that's it. Well, not necessarily, because what they don't think about is filters. Now, I don't care what you say. If it says lifetime filter, they're lying, because no matter what it is, a filter will clog over time, and you have to replace them or clean them or do something with them to get them to work again. Now, with Dysons, they claim to have a lifetime HEPA filter, and as far as I can tell, they're not washable. They're just a basic HEPA filter, and just to kind of add to the ironic twist to that, they sell lifetime HEPA filters on Dyson.com for replacement. So that's one way that they're lying to you, so kind of tricking you into buying a $500 vacuum. And to get to my next point, they're made in Malaysia. They're not made in Britain, and that shows after a couple years. My grandma has a Dyson DC-14 multi-floor, and after 4 years of use, there's this part, and it was made with good intentions, but it failed after a while, and what it is, it pretty much connects to the cleaner hose that goes down to the floor head into the suction channel, and you can remove it to clean out clogs. Great idea, but after 4 years, the little plastic part gets worn out, and there's no seal or gasket around it, and it has like this crack around it, so after 4 years of use, it's getting very reduced suction, on top of the fact that it's bagless, and the reason that bagless is bad is because there's nothing really there holding the dirt. I don't care if you're pushing the dirt to the outside, there's always going to be some fine dirt that gets through into your motor because there's no filter before the air goes into the motor. And pretty much what happens is the fine dust will actually go in there, burn out the motors, and pretty much kill your vacuum. Now, just to top it off, vacuum cleaner manufacturers today are making vacuums with 11 amp, 12 amp motors, and that might sound good. It might sound like, ooh, this one has a lot more power than those 6 or 7 amps, or maybe even 3 amp that they used to make. But actually what they did, and I believe it was in the 80s, is they actually reduced the electric efficiency of the motors to make them burn out, so you have to come back. So you couple that with bagless technology, and you have a motor that's supposed to actually get hot and burn itself out, plus you're throwing fine dust into the mix. It's just going to kill your vacuum that much faster. So there goes $500 in 4 years. So that's a big disadvantage of Dyson. Now, another big disadvantage is the entire machine is plastic. There's not one metal part on there. There might be a screw or something. But actually, the connectors to hold the faceplate for the bottom down by the brush rolls, it's like 4 plastic pins. They're like, you put them up in a slot and then you turn them, and it's almost like a T, and when you turn them, it just holds it in there. But they're starting to strip out because they're just cheap plastic screws to hold the head on. But they're starting to strip out, so that's not quality. let me think of some other things. It's bagless, so when you empty it, unless you empty it outside, you're going to get a face full of dust. And then you get all the hairs that are spinning around. When they get up to the top of the cyclone unit, they like get plugged up in there, and you'll actually have to like take the cyclone unit off the bagless dust cup, and you'll have to clean it out. So it's not just push a button and all the dirt falls out. It's push a button, have all the dust fall out, then fly back into your face, and then you have to take your cyclone unit off to get all your pet hair and big dust balls and all that crap out of there. And then, just to add to the fact of making it even more messy, if you take the filter out and you have your little cyclone unit out, you'll see that it's all dusty and dirty with really fine dust, and you'll have to end up taking a air compressor, and you have to like blow all the fine dust out of there to get it really clean. Now, not only is that dirty, but you're breathing in a lot of dust. So that's really not good, especially if you have asthma or allergies, and that could trigger a really bad allergy attack, or even make you go into like an asthma like shock or whatever, and your lung or your little breathing tubes will start to close up, all because you're using a bagless vacuum. Now, you can get some of the Dysons, and there's only one that does okay on carpet, and that's, I believe it's called the Air Muscle, and it actually has like electronic brush depth controls. But all the other Dysons just have this floating head, and it really doesn't dig deep into the carpet, so you will have a lot of grit at the bottom of your carpet, and after a couple years the grit will actually break down your carpet. So there's another bad thing about a Dyson. So that's what you get for $500. Okay, I'm going to stop going on about this because this video is getting kind of long, but I will say, if you're in need of a vacuum, I would recommend going to either your local vacuum shop because they know what they're talking about. They'll get you a good vacuum. And if you just want something really old-fashioned that has stood the test of time, you can get machines like this Hoover convertible over here, but you can get them under the name of Sanitaire. They're commercial vacuums. They have the same fan setup, and they have beater bars and everything, so if you just want an old-fashioned vacuum that's going to stand up, they're bagged, and they even have these bagless dirt cups. So if you want to try that out, you can try one of those for bagless. But, so this is the Dyson episode of Vac Chat. Hope you enjoyed. Comments, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.